what I'm going to do is create a switch trigger where, for example, say you wanted a group of infantry to cycle an area, and you wanted someone to activate a trigger to break them out of that loop and bring them to another location. Then, after they've gone to that location and done what they have to do, they can come back and you can use another cycle waypoint to break them back into their original loop. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I create a U.S. soldier, I'm going to create a just an officer, and I'm actually going to have myself trip off the trigger. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put another U.S. soldier. I'll just make anybody, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to bring him over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a waypoint here, basically just a box, and then a cycle. And what's going to happen, obviously, is he's going to cycle. He's just going to keep running around in a circle, and I can watch this. But then, from this cycle, let's say I needed him, for example, if a trigger goes off, like an enemy trips the trigger, or in this case, I'm going to have myself trip it, I wanted him to go to another location, like, for example, right here by me. Then, after he goes here, or I could even have more waypoints to have him do whatever I want him to do, I'm going to bring him back anywhere. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to bring him back to another waypoint and set another cycle. And then what I'm going to do is create a trigger right on the right side of me. So in the game, if I just kind of shift my body over to the right, I'll trip it off. I'm just going to set this axis to 5, just for the example. It could be any size you want. And then I'm going to set this condition, or this type, to switch. And activation, I'm going to have it my team, because I want to test this. And I'm going to put it right here. So what it's going to happen is, in the game, I'm going to watch this guy running around in a circle for a little bit. As soon as I shift my body over to the right, I jump over this trigger, or walk over it. This guy is going to break away from his loop. He's going to come over by me, and then he's going to go right back, and he's going to get right back into the loop again, and he's going to continue. This is obviously a small example, but if you could have it set up much bigger to accommodate an actual island size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to synchronize the trigger to a waypoint. It probably doesn't matter what waypoint you use, but I'm just going to use the first cycle waypoint. So left click over the and drag it over the cycle waypoint, let go. Now it's synchronized, and so what he's going to do is he's going to keep looping, and then when I walk over this, he should break away from it and then run towards me. So let's see if that happens. He's running around the square in the loop, and he'll just keep doing that forever. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk to the right where that trigger is, that switch trigger, and I'm going to activate it. Now he's going to run towards me. Now he's going to run back to the second cycle waypoint I made, and he's going to get back in that loop, and he's just going to keep looping again, and that's exactly what he's doing. That trigger was set to one time, so I can only activate it once. But if I set that to repeatedly, I could walk over this as many times as I want, or the enemy could do the same thing if that was set to detected by, for example, OP4. And that's how that works.